At AARP Missouri, we want to support you as you age. But first, you should learn a little more about us. AARP is a nonprofit organization working to help adults 50 plus in Missouri live their lives to the fullest. We advocate for over 700,000 members on important issues such as strengthening Social Security, protecting access to health care, and ensuring everyone has independence and choice as they age. AARP Missouri also offers online tools, resources, and programs you can access right from the comfort of your home. Learn how to protect yourself from fraud and scams with the AARP Fraud Watch Network. Become an active part of AARP Missouri as a virtual volunteer. Find support while caring for a loved one through our caregiving resources. And enjoy a variety of fun virtual events that improve your health and wellness, like our exercise series, Moving It. At AARP Missouri, there's an entire community waiting for you. Learn more about us at aarp.org/mo.
Hello, everybody. I am Diane Hall with AARP Missouri, and I would like to welcome you to our final Relax and Renew Yoga for All class. We are so happy that you guys stuck with us over 8 classes that took us 9 weeks through sunshine and floods and a few technical glitches. It has been such fun having this class to look forward to every week. Please make sure and let us know in the follow-up survey how you like the class and if you'd like to do it again. Relax and Renew Yoga for All is part of a greater body of fitness work that we do. It's part of our Moving It Fitness series, and we are so glad that you're here with us today. AARP Missouri is pleased to bring you this as a live virtual event. Now remember, as I have said every week, while this class is suitable for many levels of fitness, you know your own limitations, so please do not try to go beyond what you know is right for you. If you have any concerns at all, please check with your doctor before participating in this or any other AARP fitness offering. Here at AARP Missouri, we work to enhance the lives of all people 50 plus and their families. We have resources and information online at aarp.org/mo, and you can find more information about AARP activities and events wherever you are at aarp.org/near-you. Plus, you can always find out about volunteering with AARP at aarp.org/volunteer. Our efforts to help people live their best lives includes many things. Virtual options like this one for caregivers who may face challenges with in-person events. Resources for protecting yourself against frauds and scams through online information or local shred events. And working on livable communities, which goes way beyond housing and transportation to include social participation that virtual events like this one can offer. Now, before we get started, let me remind you to use the Q&A function to ask questions as we go along. But keep in mind, we will do a dedicated Q&A at the end of the yoga class. And speaking of our yoga class, for the last time, I would like to introduce, maybe not the last time for this series, but the last time I would like to introduce our yoga instructor, Kat Robinson. Kat has been a yoga teacher for over 20 years and has a long list of qualifications, including certified yoga therapist, integrative oncology yoga from MD Anderson Cancer Center. She's a graduate of the Yoga Teachers College and much more. Kat is passionate about yoga and sees it not just as a one-size-fits-all practice, but rather something that can be adapted to people individually. And we are so pleased to have her back with us again today, safe and well, and hopefully dried out from all the flooding. Welcome back, Kat.
Thank you, Diane. It's really good to be here. I can't believe this is our last class. I don't know what I'm going to do next Wednesday, so I guess I'll figure out something. But today, here we are. And ability, as Diane said, and listen to your body. And you want to make sure if you're hurting, you know, that one of the questions that keeps coming up is, what if I have pain in this area or that area? You shouldn't have pain at all. That is really something that you should probably, just get in, that's part of yoga. That is part of the process of yoga is no pain. So with that being said, muscle stretching, sometimes the sensation of that is not necessarily comfortable, but you should never have pain, and you should never have pain in your joints. So let's go ahead and get our spines tall. Make sure that the knees are over the ankles and the hips are in line with the knees. We're going to bring our arms down at our side, just relax the shoulders, and we're going to start our breathing. Remember, we inhale through the nose, we exhale through the nose. So I know that when I'm breathing with you, it looks like absolutely nothing's going on. So, you know, sometimes I point to my own nose just to let you know that the camera hasn't like frozen. But just relax and just breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. And really pay attention to all four parts of the breathing process. We tend to look at breathing as just inhaling and exhaling. But really, it's a four-part process. We inhale and we pause. We exhale and we pause. So when we exhale and we take that pause on the exhale, it gives our lungs a chance to recoil for that next inhalation. So just kind of follow that breath, inhaling and exhaling. And on your next inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up. We're going to work a little bit through the shoulders today. Exhale, bring the arms back down. Inhale, coming up. Now remember, the air's thick. You got to press your way through, so keep that resistance. Exhaling, releasing the arms down. Again, pressing those hands down, keeping that resistance. 2 more times here, inhaling up. And exhaling, releasing down, synchronizing that movement with your breath. Inhaling. And exhaling. This time we're going to inhale the arms up to shoulder height. So your hands are going to be out in line with your shoulders and the palms are going to face forward. So we're going to do a little bit of rotation of the shoulders today. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to start with your left hand. We're going to do both. So if you start with your right, don't panic. But just go ahead and turn that left palm to face behind you. And then go ahead and turn it back forward. And as you do, turn that right palm to face behind you. And just kind of go with the flow of your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, moving deep into the shoulders. Really move into it. And just stretch out. My left shoulder, I actually have a bit of a problem with it. I fell down my stairs a few years back. And so it's really popping as I do this, but it feels good to do it. Just opening up. This is really good for the shoulder joints, the shoulder girdle. Let's do one more time each side. So we're going to go ahead and turn that left palm back and then the right palm back. And then we're going to come with the both palms facing forward again. And we're just going to bring those palms together. And then press them back. Again, keeping that thick air going here. Press them forward. And stretch back. And each time you stretch back, see if you can open a little bit more. Press forward. Stretch back. One more time here. Press the hands forward. And stretch back. And then we're going to just go ahead and lower those arms down. Roll your shoulders a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and bring the hands out in front of you with the palms down. And we're just going to kind of go into a little bit of a vinyasa here. We're going to sweep those arms down as we lean forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower the arms down as you bend forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhaling, squeezing the belly as you extend back with the arms. Inhale, come back up. One more time here. Bring those arms back and inhale, come back up. This time we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring the arms back like airplane wings. So you've got the palms down, shoulders are open. You're a 747, not a glider. You're a 747 here. We're going to take a big inhale here. And as you exhale, just extend forward, bending at that hip joint. Remember, You want to bend from the hip joint, not from the waist. Keep the spine long. Stretch those arms back. And you may be feeling something in those arms that maybe you may even be shaking a little bit, and that's okay. That means it's working. And then we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up, and allow that blood flow to go down into the armpit area, boosting our immune system. And exhale, release the arms down. Roll the shoulders. Now, for this next pose, you may need your strap or a necktie or a belt. So if you want to try to find something, if you don't have something there, go ahead. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a pose called cow's head pose. Now, cow's head pose, from my perspective, growing up on a farm, I have no idea why it's called that, but that's what it's called. We're going to take the right arm and we're going to bring it up your back as far as you can get it with the palm facing out. Then you're going to take your strap into your left hand and you're going to bring that strap straight up to the ceiling, bend that left elbow, and drop the strap back behind your back. And then you're just going to walk your hands together as close as you can get them. Now, if you are really supple in the shoulders and you can hook your fingers together and you don't have to use the strap, you are free to do that. But for some people, that's a little difficult. So just use that strap, go as far as you can. Now that right elbow, we're going to let it drop down toward the floor. The left elbow is reaching up toward the ceiling. And just breathe into this. This is a great shoulder opener. It's great for releasing out the shoulder joints, for strengthening the shoulders. Keep your breath moving. Don't hold your breath. As I said, some of these poses may not be the most comfortable in the world, but you shouldn't be having pain. You should be maybe feeling a stretch, and it may not be like, you know, a picnic in the park, but it shouldn't hurt. We're going to exhale, release, let those arms drop, and I'm sure you're going to feel something there. Go ahead and bring that strap into your right hand. We're going to bring the left arm up this time, palm facing out. And you may find that one side works better than the other. That's perfectly normal. We're either right-handed or left-handed usually, and so we kind of, you know, lean into one side of our body or the other. We're going to take that strap into our right hand, reach back, walk those hands together. This time, the right elbow is reaching toward the ceiling, and the left elbow is dropping down toward the floor. And I just have to ask, is there anybody out there that sees a cow's head here? And not talking about my head, but the shape of the pose, a cow's head. Because I've never seen it, but that is what it's called. And just keep breathing, just relax into it. This really releases a lot of stress on the shoulders, which is notorious for holding a lot of stress on our body. We have certain areas of our body that just hold on to that stress, and the shoulders are notorious for it. One more full breath here. And then on your next exhale, you're going to release the pose. And again, just drop those arms down. You can roll your shoulders, put a little blood flow into the shoulder joint, roll them forward a little bit. And then let's move to the lower body. First off, we're going to just kind of go into a twist. So bring that left hand to your right knee, right hand to the chair behind you. Bring out the muscles around your spine. Take your gaze over your right shoulder. Keep the spine lengthening. A lot of times in this pose, and particularly in twists, I'll move up a little bit in the chair, we tend to lean back when we twist. Try not to do that. Try to keep your spine as long as you can, lengthening as much as you can, and then just twist around the axis of the spine. Take some nice full deep breaths here. On your next exhale, we're going to come all the way over to the other side, to the left side. So the right hand is going to be on the left knee. The left hand is going to come to the chair behind you, wherever it's comfortable. Take an inhale and then exhale, twist to look over your left shoulder. Now, I believe I said this in maybe the first class or maybe it was the second, but somewhere along the line, we talked about how good this is also for your digestion. Twists are wonderful for your digestion. It helps to kind of just wring out all of your filter organs, your kidneys, your gallbladder, liver, everything that's a filter. It really helps to cleanse. It also brings a lot of blood flow into those organs. What we call the squeeze and soak. Right now we're squeezing. And then on your next exhale, we're going to release so all that blood flows in. And now we're soaking all of our tissues with nice, fresh, oxygenated blood. It's so good for us to do. Okay, spine is tall. We feel a little warmed up in the spine area. Let's go ahead and bring that right knee up. And you can rotate the ankles, spread your toes, point and flex, breathing into it. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep your mind relaxed. If you start getting anxious in a pose, you may be going a little too far in it. And if that's the case, you want to just relax and just go as far as you can go and stay in that relaxed state. That's when your body responds. When we're struggling, our body doesn't respond as well to our yoga poses. On your next inhale, we're going to take that right knee and we're going to bring that right ankle to the top of our left thigh, left knee. Now, do you remember when we did our toes a few weeks ago? We're going to do that again. So I want you to start with your little finger, with your pinky, and bring it between your pinky toe and the second one, and just kind of wrap your fingers, just weave them through. And, you know, sometimes our toes are really, really tight. They're cramped up in shoes a lot. They don't get a lot of relief. So if they're super tight and it's hard for you to get your fingers in there, you can always use pencils. You can use something thinner and just start working with it at that point. Yoga meets you where you are, not the other way around. So just let it meet you where you are here. But when you're ready, you're going to take an inhale. And as you exhale, spread your fingers and open up those toes. Get some energy flowing into them. Keep your breath moving. If you have some medical reason that you shouldn't be doing this, then don't do it. If you're maybe diabetic or something and you've been told not to do this, then don't. But if you can do it, this really helps to boost circulation into the toes, into the feet. Very good for us. And then go ahead and exhale, release, pull all your fingers out. Go ahead and just rotate that foot around a few times, just opening the ankle, and then reverse it and go the other way a few times. Just opening up. Then we're going to get ourselves comfortable in our chair. We're sitting in this figure 4. We're going to take an inhale here, and we're going to exhale, just bend from the hip joint, reaching out through the crown of the head, taking your gaze forward. You're folding like a piece of paper. This is your hips right here. You're folding like a piece of paper. So a piece of paper doesn't fold like this. It folds flat. So keep that spine as flat as you can. And remember, it doesn't matter how deeply you go. Some people might be able to put their head on their knee. I'm not one of them. I'm going to go as far as I can. Some people may be here, and that's as far as you can go. We're all different. Be uniquely you, because there's nobody else that's you. You're the only you out there. So just go with where you are. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale, come up. Exhale, release that leg down. Might even just wiggle it a little bit, get some energy flowing into it. And then pull that left knee into our chest. And again, you can rotate that ankle. You can spread your toes. You can point and flex. Again, whatever works for you here, it's fine. No pressure to go any point. Your knee may be just a few inches off the floor, or you may have it close to being putting it behind your head. We're all different. We're all made different. We all have different life experiences, genetic makeups, injuries, illnesses, all these things that make us uniquely us. On your next exhale, we're going to bring that ankle, that left ankle, to the top of the right thigh. And then we're going to go ahead and bring our fingers in between our toes, opening up our foot. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, spread those fingers, just kind of open up. Keep your breath moving. Again, it doesn't matter where you are, just keep your breath moving. Our bodies really struggle when they think they're suffocating. So we want to just keep that breath flowing. So we put up all this relaxation response in the body, which is completely different than the stress response chemicals that go through the body. Exhale, release your fingers, rotate your ankle, both directions. You can point and flex, just work some blood flow in. And then we're going to take an inhale here, lengthen up through the spine, exhaling, bending from the hip joint. Again, keeping that spine flat. Take your gaze forward. Keep breathing, keep relaxing. Inhale, come up. And exhaling, releasing your leg down. Again, just move it around a little bit, get some blood flow in there. We're going to slide over to the right side of our chair. We're going to bring that right foot back behind us onto the top of the foot. We're going to take an inhale here. And as you exhale, let's just extend a little forward at the spine. Not far, just a little bit, just to bring a little bit of the upper body into it. And then we're going to inhale, come up. Exhaling, folding forward. Forward folds are really good for digestion too. Inhale, come up. Exhaling, folding forward. Just a little bit. Inhale, come up. One more time here. Folding forward. And inhale, come up. We're going to go ahead and turn that foot to the side. So we've got, get my strap out of the way here. We've got the right foot turned with the toes pointing out to the right. We've got the left foot with the toes pointing forward. We're going to bring our elbow down onto that right knee. We're going to take that left hand and we're going to bring it up and around, and we're going to come into what is called lateral angle. And then we're going to get this nice stretch from the sit bones of the left hip all the way out through the left fingertips. Keeping the breath moving. Again, don't worry about how deeply you're going into the pose. Don't worry about what it looks like. Just move. Think about what it feels like, not so much what it looks like. We're going to inhale, come back up to center, and exhale, release that hand down. We're going to go ahead and come back to center, and we're going to slide over to the left side of our chair. We're going to bring that left foot back where you're on top of the foot. So we've got that going on. We've got the front, the right knee, the toes are pointed forward. We're going to go ahead and take an inhale here, and as you exhale, bend forward. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, squeezing the belly. Inhale, come back up. One more time here. Exhaling and inhaling. We're going to turn that left foot out to the left. The right foot is still pressing forward. We're going to bring that left elbow down to the top of our left thigh. Now, if that's hard for you to do, just bring your hand onto your thigh. So really just work with your body. Find where it works for you. But if you can get your elbow down to your thigh, go ahead. Right arm comes up and around. Try to line up the bicep with your ear as best you can. So you're getting this nice stretch from the right sit bone all the way out through the right fingertips. And keep your breath moving. Every time you inhale and exhale in this pose, you should probably feel your rib cage expand. All those little intercostal muscles between the ribs, sometimes they get kind of tight, just from gravity, just the aging process. So when we do this and we're stretching out and we're breathing, we're opening up those tissues. Inhaling, coming back up to center, and exhaling, releasing down. And we're going to come back to center again. We're going to go ahead and separate both legs out. So both feet are pointed out at a 45-degree angle. You're sitting in your chair. You've got both knees lined up over the ankles. We don't want them to be falling in or falling out or pushing forward. They're just lined up. Now, if we were doing this on the mat, we would be standing in a squat. And as you can see, we're sitting here, but we're still in the form of a squat. Squats are really good for us. Again, they're good for digestion. The peristalsis, they, help with a lot of things. So squats are something that we should probably do a little more often than we usually do. But it's good for us to do it when we're sitting in a chair or if we're standing. It doesn't matter. We're going to bring our arms up like goalposts. So sometimes we get W's going, and if that's as high as you can open up your arms, that's as high as you can open your arms. It's just going to have to be fine. But if you can get them up where they're aligned with your shoulders, go ahead and do that. And just take a few breaths. Expand through the elbows. Spine is lengthening. The legs are working. Even though we're sitting, those legs are working. And keep that breath moving. On your exhale, you're going to release your arms down. And we're going to bring that left hand to the center of your chair. Then we're going to kind of go into a twist. So we're going to kind of twist over and we're going to bring that right hand straight up to the ceiling. So left hand is on the chair, right hand to the ceiling. And then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to bring that right hand down. We're going to bring the left hand to the ceiling. Take a couple of breaths. And now we're going to take this into a vinyasa. So we're going to bring that left hand down, right hand to the ceiling. As you exhale, the right hand comes down. Inhale the left hand to the ceiling. Exhale the left hand down. Inhale the right hand to the ceiling. Exhale the right hand down. Inhale the left hand to the ceiling. Let's do one more time each side. Exhale that left hand down, right hand to the ceiling. Exhale the right hand down, left hand to the ceiling. And then exhale, release the pose. Bring your legs back to center. Take a few moments. Bring your elbows onto your knees, drop your head down, and come into this modified child's pose. Take a little break. Let the area of your back, of the top of your back, between the shoulder blades, that scapula area, just let it come open. We hold on. We're tense. We hold on. So when we do this, just allow the shoulders to drop. Allow your shoulder blades to get some space in between them. And then we're going to inhale, come up. Let's come to stand. So throughout our practice, we have worked diligently on balance. We've worked a lot with standing and with balance. So we're going to go ahead and work with tree pose a little bit more today. So I've got my chair on my right side with my right hand on it. I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to bring it to my ankle, to my calf, or to the inside of the thigh. Now, again, I kind of racked my left side when I took a tumble down the stairs a few years ago, have lost a little mobility. I'm going to keep my left foot below my knee. You just don't want to put it right over your knee. Knees are vulnerable. You want to put it either below or above. So if it's difficult for you to bring it above the knee, keep it below the knee. You're going to tighten up right here, like somebody's tightening that corset around you. You can bring your hands to heart center if you like, but if you need that chair for balance, please hold on to that chair. Now, if you're feeling particularly strong and balanced today, you can bring your arms up like tree limbs and keep that breath moving. And if you're blowing around a little bit, it's just, it's a windy day for the tree, but have fun. Balancing poses should be fun, like they were when we were kids and we tried to balance on one foot. They shouldn't, it shouldn't be something that you stress. If you can't hold it, it just means you need to work on your balance a little bit more. Or maybe it's just not going to work for you today. But the calmer you can stay and the more relaxed you can stay in the pose, the easier it is to achieve. Go ahead and exhale, release. Shake that right leg. And then we're going to move on over to the other side. So I've got my left hand on the chair this time. And you want to put a little space between you and the chair. You don't want to be right up against it. Just make sure that you've got a chair that's sturdy enough that you're not going to pull it over on you. We're going to bring that right foot to the ankle, to the calf, or to the inside of the thigh. Now, see, I have a lot more range of motion on this side. So the thing of it is we want to build upon our strengths, but we also want to honor those limitations. So, listen to that body. If it's telling you something's not right, you want to listen to it. You can bring your hands to heart center if you like. You can bring your arms up like tree limbs, but wherever you're at, you're going to tighten up through the center of the body. You're going to squeeze your butt. You're going to squeeze through the center of the body. Hold that belly in. Everything is squeezing. You can bring your arms up if you like, whatever you want to do here. But again, just have fun with it. Smile. It's not a big deal. If the balance is elusive today, that's okay. It may not be tomorrow. We all have those days that we feel off balance. But just keep breathing. "20 more breaths." No, I'm kidding. Not really. How about one more breath? And exhale, release. I got to get some new material. I've used that joke too many times. Shake your legs a little bit. I'll try to have some new material if we come back again. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to come back to the back of the chair. We're either going to turn the chair where the back is facing it or the seat is facing us, depending on where you are. I'm going to use the seat on mine, and we're going to come into a down dog. So just go ahead and walk your feet back. Try to line up your arms with your ears. Again, if that's too deep for you, the back of the chair works great. But if you want to do it on the floor, that works too. It's just an upside down V. If you have a hard time getting your spine to lengthen, if it's rounding on you, you can bend your knees. But any of these modifications are going to work great for you. So just find a place that it works best for you. Always. Yoga, Diane and I were saying this before class, yoga is for everybody and every body. So modify it to work for your body. Take a couple of full breaths here. And then we're going to inhale, walk our feet up. And you may turn your chair to go ahead and have a seat for our cool down here. So let's go ahead and keep the left knee pulled in. We've got the knee over the ankle and the knee in line with the hip. we're going to stretch that right leg out. Now, if you have your strap there, you can wrap your strap around your foot and just give a little stretch here. Or if you feel safe in your chair, you can walk your hands out to hold your foot. And again, keeping the breath moving. Now in this pose, there's a few of these. This is what we would call a half-seated forward fold, or Janu Shirshasana as it's called in Sanskrit. This one and the full seated forward fold, for some reason, it has a tendency for us to make our jawline get tense and clench our teeth. If you're doing that, see if you can relax that jawline. So don't tighten up anywhere. Or we have a tendency to bring our shoulders up around our ears when we do it. Don't do that. Just go as far as you can. If you start feeling those shoulders climbing up, back up a little bit. We want the spine long. We want the shoulders relaxed. And that's when your body will start opening for you. Again, just keeping that breath moving. And then we're going to inhale, come up. And we're going to switch sides. So again, we want that right knee right over the right ankle. Toes are pointing out. The knee is also in line with the hip. You can take your strap. You can wrap it around your foot and hold on to it there, just walking your hands up. But if you feel comfortable, you can release, bringing both hands to your foot. Again, relax your jawline. Make sure you're not tensing up, that you're keeping it relaxed. Make sure your chair is not going to slide out from under you, or you're not going to topple forward out of your chair. Always be safe. Remember, this is designed to make us feel better, not to hurt us. So go ahead and just breathe into this, not worrying about where you're at. You may be up here. This may be as far as you can go. This may be as far as you can go. Wherever it is, just relax into it and breathe. If I have taught nothing else during this 8 weeks, I'm going to say this one more time. You are perfect where you are. God doesn't make mistakes. You are perfect where you are. So just go with that. You know, life circumstances may have made you where you haven't exercised in a while, and maybe you're inflexible and you've lost some of the flexibility in your life. It's okay. You're still perfect. It says nothing about who you are as a person. Go ahead and inhale up. That was probably the first thing that I heard in my first yoga class that my teacher said. It probably wasn't the first thing that he said, but it was the first thing that I heard. Was it doesn't matter if you can't do 20 push-ups or 20 sit-ups or 10 or 5 or even 1. It doesn't matter. You start where you are, because okay, you just start where you are. So just and relax those shoulders. You can take another little twist here if you want, just to kind of bring things out. You can take a little observance of your body, still some tightness in your shoulders. If there is, you give yourself a hug, both sides, just to kind of release it out. You can roll the shoulders, whatever feels good to you here. This is your few moments here. And I want you to just close your eyes. Once you've kind of settled in and you're in your seated position, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to visualize all of your internal organs. Doesn't matter what they look like. If you're thinking about your heart and it's one of those Valentine's Day shaped hearts, it's okay. Doesn't matter. You won't know the difference. But I want you to just picture everything, all of your body systems, all of your body's organs. We've only got a few minutes, so it's going to have to be a quick scan. But I want you to picture all of them working efficiently. If you have dis-ease in something, you know, gallstones, digestive problems, if you have any of that, picture your body healing on the inside. Picture all of those internal organs and systems healing. And just notice what's going on. We've all known people who can talk themselves into being sick. We've probably all done it from time to time, especially when we were kids in school and we wanted to stay home. But, you know, we can also reverse that. Mental attitude means a whole lot because we cannot separate the body and the mind. The body is going to do what the mind tells it, and the mind is going to do what the body is saying. So we can't separate those two. A good mental attitude is always important, no matter what your day is like. And sometimes that's really, really hard, and I know that. But the more you can try to strand those pearls together that we talked about in the other classes, that if you think of your life as just moments of that, those moments are pearls that are being strung on a strand. And so what I would, my hope for you is that when you look back on your life, you see a very, very long strand of pearls. And there's going to be gaps. There always are. Nothing is perfect. But in those gaps, those are the places that you've really lived, that you've felt all of the feels, that you've done all of the things. And so when you look back, those gaps may be there, but hopefully they're very, very small in comparison to all the pearls that are lined up. I'd like you to draw your awareness down to your feet and relax your feet. Relax your ankles. Relax your shins and your calves. Relax your kneecaps and the backs of your knees. Relax your thighs and the backs of your thighs. Relax your buttocks and your pelvic floor. Relax your abdomen and your lower back. Relax your chest and your upper back. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. Relax your hands and your fingers. Relax your throat and the back of your neck. Relax your face, your jawline, your mouth. Relax your eyes and the space between your eyes. Relax your forehead and your temples. Relax your scalp and your skull, and relax the crown of your head. Just relax. And it's been such an honor to work with you over the last 8 weeks. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss it next week. I don't know if I'll be back or when I'll be back, but I know that we're talking. So, but I am going to, miss all of you. I'm so happy that you joined me. And for the last class, I just want to give you a very heartfelt namaste.
Oh, namaste, Kat. Thank you so much for this session, the ones that came before, because this is just lovely, very relaxing. And that's exactly what we were going for, just kind of get stretched out and relaxed. Now, to everybody else who is on, I have to apologize for my slow computer today. Although you may not have missed seeing the little AARP video introduction, you may have been slightly confused by seeing Julie the three-legged wonder kitty at the beginning of our webinar. Apparently the slow speed kept my video from broadcasting. You got to see my parents Siamese cat for about 2 minutes. So my apologies. I am sorry. Hopefully that will not happen as we move to the Q&A part of the program. And so just we have the Q&A. Please put your questions in the Q&A so that Kat can respond to those. And Kat had mentioned just earlier before the class day, we were talking about yoga and good for everybody and that kind of thing. We also talked a little bit about floor yoga or mat yoga, so versus chair yoga. And what I want to know, Kat, from your perspective, what are the different benefits that you would see if we did floor yoga or mat yoga rather than chair yoga? I mean, is it more physical? What would be kind of the different
Yeah,
benefits?
it obviously would be more physical. There would be more having to stand for a longer period of time, which I know that some people have a really difficult time with that. It's just a different presentation of yoga. There's so many different types of yoga, from really powerful vinyasa to the very gentle chair yoga, and then there's lots in between. A mat class would probably, like a restorative mat class, would be, probably the next level up from a chair class. But it still would have more physical, it would be more physically challenging than a chair class would be. Although some of the poses in the chair are a little physically challenging too. I mean, I know there was a few times my legs were shaking, my arms were shaking, but when we stand, and we're having to hold our own body weight and we're having to hold our own balance. It's just a different type of process. I always recommend to people, I have people who come into my mat classes, particularly my restorative classes, and they will have a chair next to them just in case they need something to hold on to. I don't know if you can see them in the video, but I have like ballet bars, which we use a lot for balance in the studio, something to hold on to. So, there are people that do a little bit of both in each class. They may sit down for some poses and then the chair yoga is really good for those that can't get up and down off the floor. That's really where it comes in handy, because a lot of a mat class is done on the floor. And I try not to make people stand and sit and stand and sit and stand and sit. We usually start with like seated poses, and then we work our way to stand, and then we end up back down on the mat again. So it's kind of a flow from one to the other. But it is a little more physically challenging, yes.
Okay, well, so that brings me to another question, and I don't have any questions in the Q&A thing yet, which is unusual. Come on, y'all.
I know. Come on, guys. It's my last day. Throw it at me. Come on.
So you talked about restorative mat yoga being kind of the next step up from chair yoga. Can you talk a little bit about the different, because you talked about before we were on some of the yoga that you've done in your studio that is really a physical workout. What are the kind of different kinds of yoga?
Well, there's vinyasa yoga, which sometimes is called power yoga. You might even see it called Ashtanga, which is actually the Sanskrit name for it. Typically with the Ashtanga yoga, though, it's done in a certain sequence, and power yoga is kind of a hybrid off of that, or vinyasa yoga. And then there's also Bikram yoga. Bikram yoga is done with the room being, 100 and some odd degrees. It's really hot in the room. Sometimes it's not necessarily Bikram, or it may be called hot yoga. So they're kind of the same thing, but one of them a man designed and named it after himself, and the other one is just kind of a hybrid off of that. And then there's yin yoga, which is a yoga style where you hold the poses for 3 or 4 or more minutes, especially deeper poses. It is a good form of yoga. We do that once in a while in class. We'll hold the poses. Typically, it's not standing poses. Typically, we're holding like seated poses in a position where we have bolsters holding us up and we really truly relax in them. And that gets really, really deep into the tissues and to the fascia. A lot of times you may only have 5 or 6 poses in an hour-long class, but you're going to feel maybe a little sore the next day because you got really deep into those tissues. And then restorative yoga it tends to be a little bit more focused on restoring the body, healing the body, which is really my main focus of yoga. All of my yoga classes are based on MD Anderson's Yoga for Health training, which is a yoga therapy training. But it really, when you say yoga for health, it really depends on what type of health work you're needing, if that makes sense. If you are physically fit and you work out at the gym a lot, probably a good restorative yoga will help bring balance to that. It'll help stretch out your muscles. It'll help heal your body. If you have been sedentary for a long time, this is a good place to break into yoga, is either with chair yoga or restorative, because it helps you learn the poses. It goes a little bit of a slower pace. It's more healing and more relaxing. But, my vinyasa classes are also geared toward healing, because it really depends on what you need. We can get really complex about this, but if you need to maybe lose weight, if that's part of the prescription that your doctor has given you for your health, then you're going to want something that's going to get your heart rate up, that's going to make you sweat, that's going to get a little bit cardio along with strengthening and stretching. And vinyasa yoga can really do that. Now, with that being said, if you're new to this type of class, you don't want to go into one that is just really powerful. You want to start with like a gentle flow vinyasa where you're actually learning it. And then you step up. It's just like ramping up in any other fitness routine. What other kinds are there? There's obviously chair yoga. I also teach aerial yoga, and that also has a therapeutic application as well that I do. I do it a lot for back pain. I do it for balance, just deeper stretches. And it's very fun. But, that is done actually 4 feet off the floor. You're in a sling. You do turn upside down. It's really a fun form of yoga. It was something I didn't think I would ever enjoy, but I really do. It's one of my favorites. So there's lots of different branches off of our original yoga practices from 5,000 years ago.
Well, so remember how I apologized for my tech issues? Apparently I have more than one. I realized that my Q&A box is going disconnected. So I've got a colleague.
No.
All right. My colleague Sheila is sending me the questions through email. So Rita wants to know, how do we get
Sheila.
how do we get these to use in the future? You can go to aarp.org/moving it, and you can connect to all of the videos that we have done for this class and for all the other AARP Moving It fitness classes that we've done in various kinds of subjects. But the yoga classes will be there. This one will be posted probably by tomorrow on our YouTube channel, and you can link to that straight through aarp.org/moving it. Let's see what the next one is that Sheila has sent to me. From Mary, she said, no question, just want to say this series is great. I had not been exercising for a while and plan to stay with yoga, hopefully online with AARP and Kat. She's been a great instructor. I hope another yoga series with Kat will become available. Thank you both. Aww.
Thank you so much. And when I hear that it has inspired somebody to take better care of themselves and themselves. That's the main thing. You got to me to keep doing this, because sometimes it gets a little frustrating, but when classes are slow and you think, okay, should I do something different? I've been doing this for a long time. I'm probably never going to do anything different. And that is the reason why, is because I know that if I can just help one person the way it's helped me, that it's all worth it. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I hope that that little glitch that I just had didn't go to all of you. I hope that was just me because I missed a little bit of what Kat just said. But hopefully it did not.
That's
Um,
okay.
from Jana, who says namaste, from someone who thought they couldn't do yoga. This was an eye-opening and exhilarating experience. That's a great word.
Thank you. Good, 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 good.
I looked forward
This
to
is
it.
what I like. This is what I want.
So she goes on to say, I looked forward to it every week. Such a blessing. I have shared it with others too. Fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I do appreciate all of you who are showing up for yourself every week. You know, I mean, because this is for you. You know, as caregivers, you give all the time. This is for you. And I'm just so thrilled that so many have shown up for themselves throughout this.
Absolutely. From Rita, love these classes. So doable for my limited movability. Hope you will be back.
Thank you so much. And I'm so glad. And hopefully that mobility will get better if you keep doing it. You know, when I first started doing yoga, I couldn't touch my toes. I could when I was in high school, of course, in PE, but as I got older, I couldn't touch my toes anymore. And you know, and use the straps. A lot of people think, oh, if you use the props, you're cheating, you know, it's not really doing it. But that is how you do it. If you know, I use my strap. I did all the modifications that my teachers told me to use, and eventually things opened up. Now, that's not to say that that will happen for everybody. Does that mean you can't do yoga? Absolutely not. Yoga meets you where you are as you do this, but you definitely as you do it.
Yeah, I think the thing that has helped me on my fitness journey is don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
That's right. That's right. It's not a yoga perfect. It's a yoga practice. And we really have to get that mindset because we are taught, we live in a society where you're supposed to be the best. You're supposed to, you know, be the best at your job. You're supposed to be the best at parenting. You're supposed to be the best at everything. We work at that. We struggle to do that. We want to just succeed, succeed, succeed. The success in yoga is just showing up for it, just doing it for yourself. There's no competition. It is not a competitive sport. There's no yoga Olympics, I don't think. There might be, I don't know. But certainly not with me, there's not. And you know, if you look at yoga as not only as a way of keeping physically fit, which it will definitely do that, but also to keep mentally fit and to just keep healthy, being able to move, being able to do things. I have so many students that started with me 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. And when they came to me, they wanted the rock hard abs, they wanted the big muscles, they wanted all those things. Now they're saying to me, I just want to play with my grandkids. And so it meets you at every stage of life. And so when I hear these stories of how much it's helped, it really makes me feel good. I want you to know that you've made me feel as good as hopefully I've made you feel.
Yeah. And it's all about just that progress and not perfection. It's
That's
little
right.
incremental things. And if you can't touch your toes or stretch that far, it's all right. You're giving it a try, and every little
That's
bit
right.
will help.
It's no big deal. It's no big deal. We are where we are. And one day you may be great at touching your toes, and the next day you could be tensed up about something and not be able to touch your toes. We change from moment to moment to moment. We are constantly in a state of change. So, you know, we can decide if that change wants to keep going down this path of, you know, sedentary lifestyle, not getting any exercise, or if we decide that we want to go moment to moment to moment with those changes of moving forward and being healthier in our life. So it really boils down to an everyday choice, every moment
Absolutely.
choice, actually.
Well, we are right up against the hour. And Kat, I want to thank you for your time and leading us.
Thank you guys so much.
Let us through class today over the last 9 weeks as well. Really appreciate your time and your expertise and your philosophy of how everybody can participate in this.
That's right. That's right. And thank you all so much for joining me, and thank you, Diane, Sheila, Joanne, all of you for having me do this. I so appreciate it. I really believe in the healing powers of yoga and related lifestyle activities. And I'm so happy to be able to share it with all of you.
Well, and thank all of you for joining us for Relax and Renew Yoga for All. Whether you attended one class or all 8 classes, we hope that you enjoyed it. Please do remember to do our final survey and let us know what you thought about the class. And if you'd like to see other fitness offerings from AARP Missouri, go to aarp.org/movingit, and then you can check out previous Yoga for All sessions while you're there, the ones you might have missed, or maybe ones you might want to do again as part of your new yoga practice. And as we end our Yoga for All spring series, please remember to be as good to yourself as you are to others. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.